Guys, Dave in Texas, what we're looking at today is a Hofner called Prince. It's a dedicated a copy guitar, one of his, and it's a very, very nice guitar. I've heard it play, but it needs some work done to it. First, it needs to be cleaned up, get those frets cleaned up, and I do need to go easy on this guitar with cleaning polish, since there are a bunch of stickers on it. A bunch of items on here doesn't want to become harmed. Like this one in particular, I'm sure he doesn't want that to have any stuff on it. But, you know, pretty nice guitar. Just needs to be cleaned very carefully. And what I'll do, instead of spraying it direct, I'll spray the polish onto the rag and with a paper towel, and then work around it. That way I know that I'm not going to damage any of those decals or stickers. Alright. So, a shout out to Dave's World of Fun Stuff up in Canada. Nice guy that I watch his videos all the time. As well as my buddy in England, China Guitar Skeptic. It's been a while since I've yelled at them. Say hello. Also, I want to thank everybody that's still subscribing to my channel. That's really nice of you. I appreciate that. As you know, I don't go on there and ask for subscriptions. I feel kind of odd about doing that, but I appreciate you doing it. We're at 4,000 now, and I'd like to see it get to 10,000 someday soon. I was told by everyone I know that I got on there and worked the worked the channel and asked for subscriptions. I get a lot more than I have. Well, I don't know, it's just up to you guys if you want to subscribe or not, because there's a lot of people that watch my channel that aren't subscribed from what I figure out from all the data they provide you from YouTube. A lot of repeat viewers, they're not subscribed. It's real simple to subscribe. Just hit that button, you're there, and it'll notify you of any new videos I'm putting out. And I put them out kind of often. Of course, I put out some very lengthy ones too. And that, I think, is causing some problems, guys, which I wanted to talk to you about today with this guitar in particular, and explain to you that for about a year I had a lot of people tell me they wanted to see every single little item that I do on these guitars. And yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but I'm losing viewership since my videos are about an hour and plus long. I mean, that's just too much. It's too much to ask me to sit down and watch a video for an hour. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to start clipping these videos as I've been doing in the past. I've been hitting a lot of these on quick run speeds to get them over with quicker. Repetitive stuff that you don't want to see anyway. I mean, it's just boring as hell stuff. But I want to get those repetitive stuff, like putting on strings, going over something that's been done, a dozen times on my show, that you don't need to see that again unless you're a noob. But those are going to go, and I think that that may get some of my viewership back that left me because of my videos being so long. And I'll try to keep them at least down to no more than 30 minutes at the most. And that's the most. And this one is going to require some special tool I got, if I can find it. Get all this gook off this fretboard. It's got its fair share of finger dirt up against the frets. And the only thing I know of to get with that off there is with this little this stylus here. You can see it coming off. Let's see if I can get you in there closer. Well, the next step, guys, is to go ahead and get this thing prepped to put a bone nut in it and get that settled. So I'll be working on that next. So want to stay tuned. I'll do a little bit of that, show you what I'm doing, and go. Oh, okay. So I've got now, guys. I've got the raw blank ready to put in my nut vise to start the rough shaping of it. Now, the first thing I'll do is get this separated from this longer piece. And so this is the general shape of the fender type bone nut, like this. I'll take it from this bone stock, which is nice and bright, and I know for positive fact this is good stock. I had nothing to question about this at all. Okay. Oh yeah, and while I'm at it, I wanted to show you these two. These two little items here are jewels. I mean, they're like heaven found little tools I can use in my shop. And what they do, guys, they allow me to judge the height of your strings over your frets via your nut by thousandths. So no more feeler gauge, no more half pencils, no more eyeballing or feeling. You know, I know exactly what it's going to take to get your nut cut to its optimal depth, right, before it fret buzzes. Okay, so this on the electric and the acoustic, and this on the bass. So these things work perfectly. I've already used them like 3 or 4 times to cut some of these bone nuts, and man, oh man, the guys that played these were astounded at how low that action could actually go once I had these tools to use. You know, otherwise I measured some of the older ones I did for myself. I was plus or minus 5 thousandths to 8 thousandths. You know, it's like eyeballing and a feeler gauge. They can't be that precise, but with these, you are exactly on the button. So, anybody needs a bone nut, come on by. I can definitely cut one that fits your guitar, give you the lowest action you've ever played. Alright, oops. Now back to the job at hand. We're making a bone nut for the little Prince guitar. The Hohner, I don't know. Now, as I told you before, this is really a pull stroke saw, but you get started by pushing, and it works both ways. But the main stroke is on the pull. As you can see, the most resistance is all as well. And what I try to do is just let the saw do the work. Don't want to put any pressure on it, just kind of just let it cut away, and you see what it does to the bone. It's just like, wow. This thing is really, really sharp. Now when I get down to the end, I barely put any pressure on it, just real easy pressure, very patient, and I get a nice clean cut. Right? No ragged chips on this one. And when I match this up, what I'll end up doing is taking this shape here, most of it will stay as it is, but I'll round it over per the radius of the guitar I'm working with, which is a 12. Okay? But this material here is excellent bone stock, and I have no problems using it. It's a little thick, but I'll take care of that later on. I'll thin this down and get it all set up, right? Okay, well here's something I wouldn't try if I didn't have a bunch of these pieces still in hand, but I'm going to try the belt sander and try to take some of this down some as best I can, and we'll see what happens. So get ready for the noise, guys. This thing is noisy. Okay, you'll see, you can see this, I got the shape roughed in now for me. What I'll do is put it back on my nut vise and finish shaping this. And then I have to worry about the depth with my disc sander to get that depth down a little lower than it is. So I think it's going to be a little too high inside, as well as the width as well has to come down a lot. It's a little too thick. I tell you what, let's just do that right now. After all that work, there you go. Nice, well-placed bone nut. Shaped and fitted and pre-cut and set up to put right in there. That takes a lot of work to get this thing the right size, you know. I scored these lines the same as the old nut, and hopefully there won't be any issues with that, but it shouldn't be because it fit perfectly in the first place. So this fits absolutely perfectly, okay. And I may have to lower it just a little bit, but not much. Let's see. And the string, I think that's going to just about be right on the depths, but maybe a little bit more, depending. We'll see. Okay, now that the nut's finished, well, semi-finished, so I'll have to do some final adjustments to it. We're going to string it up so you can do those adjustments, do some measurements, and verify that height. It looks like I have to open it up some too to capture more of that string. I don't really have enough string there to hold it in place, so that's got to be done. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit better. Show you. It's like 3/4 of it's outside the nut. That's too much. You need to get a little bit deeper inside that nut, so I got to open up that slot I cut with a 42 file and get her right. And then, and also check the depth of it. Make sure that there's no issues with fret buzz, because the nut was cut too low. And that's what those new tools I've got will do. Those gauges are meant to check per thousandth. Alright, remember that, per thousandth, the depth of your nut. That's pretty darn precise if you ask me. And I do like those. New tools. Show you one more time what I got from StewMac. Look at this. That's the gauge that does the nuts for the guitars. This is the one for the bass guitars. Alright. Nice precision little tools. Well, great. Just great. The darn G-string just snapped on me. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. I'll have to find him a 16 gauge G-string in my box of strings. Oh man. Of all things, these are very thin strings. This doesn't feel like a 9. It's supposed to be a 9's E string, but for some reason it feels like more like an 8 or 7. It's just really wispy thin. Well, the good news is that I did find a 16 and a package of 9 D'Adderias. Same quality, same level. Or maybe actually a little bit better string, but anyway. Same gauge, that's what makes the difference. 16 gauge. Alright, let's see if this thing breaks. Maybe something down here on the sound is rough. I don't see anything. You know, most people, they want them cut, but anyway, this is pretty good as far as the radius is concerned. The nut is. It's just I need to lower this strings back towards the back. Sorry guys, I don't think you can see that. I need to lower the E string back towards the neck, This one is perfect. Not much on this one at all. This one's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. Just a couple of adjustments on, gosh, it's like 2 strings and I'm done with that nut. Of course, then I'll measure it, make sure we had no problems with the height on the first fret with the new tool. Once I have it to tune, it stays in pitch. Alright, I was playing it and I've already noticed that the strings are just way out of whack. I need to get the radius tool out, get my little equalizer out that I just got, this little jewel here, and make sure that it's set up right, because this is not right. This is not right now on the first fret, so I gotta get that adjusted. And I got a choke on this string here, but I really need to lower this first, get it to the right playing action, and then start checking. But in the meantime, let those strings get a chance to set in and do adjustments, and we'll go from there. Well, the nut slot's completely cleaned out, and what I'm going to do is put a couple of drops of Titebond on here, just as little as I can put on here. Oh, that's too much. Darn it. Okay, I gotta get something to apply this with. Hang in there, guys. That's just too much glue. This little jewel here should do it. Not what it's meant to be. It's supposed to be for, you know, super glue, but I think I can put a droplet on it with this. Let's see, let it spill onto a towel so I can just let it flow out. But what I'm trying to do is put 2 kind of smallest drops in to hold this nut in place, because the strings do most of the work. You know what I'm saying? Put super glue in there. Well, you try to take the nut back out again, you'll crack the nut and possibly take the wood away from your guitar, like this. Just like that. One there. And one right there. That's all I'm trying to do, is put 2 drops of glue. Now, this also gives me a chance to adjust this, because with super glue, once you set it down, if you're wrong, you're screwed. But this will allow you to adjust it just slightly, like I'm doing right now, by touching it to the edges of the guitar. Make sure I got it lined up straight. You follow me? Okay, so get your strings back on here. Good time to dry up. And oh, by the way, those new tools, I'm going to show them to you again, allowed me to take this down so low. It's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to try to tune up one side at a time. The high E, low E, so I don't pull that nut out of place while it dries. There we go. Perfect, guys. The action on this couldn't be any better. I mean, that as low as she goes, follows the contour of the guitar's shape, that radius, wow. And the nut's just perfectly in place. Okay? Of course, it looks a little odd because you got this wild kickoff with these shoe trees right there, string trees, but it is just absolutely perfect. And here's the culprit why. Not my eyeballs. This little tool here is absolutely a gem. It does such a fantastic job. It's just amazing. You can't beat it. Okay, so next step on this guitar is let that nut set for about 5 or 6 hours, just to be safe. It'll be set in a couple hours, but give 5 or 6 hours to set because of the temperature and all that good stuff, the humidity and all that relative, you know, science stuff. And then we'll set the intonation on it, adjust the pickup height, and clean it up and have it ready for him to pick up.